Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thornton Farm, where today we're out baling. We've got a Krone Ultima that's been rented behind us. It is, after producing, as you can see on screen, 237 bales already. Most of the bales are 6,000 litres, so we're not exactly going small in the bale sizes. We're keeping them nice and big. And I've been working on mowing and baling pretty much all day. Luckily this thing is a non-stop baler. Now we're not moving too fast, we're only going 4 or 5 kilometers an hour with this thing usually. And really we don't want to be going much faster than that because, as a very simple reason, otherwise we'll run into issues with actually having to stop up completely. This thing is producing at such a rate that basically once a bale is completed, once a bale's finished wrapping, we need to get a new bale. You know, a new bale comes out of the chamber and starts wrapping. It's really running at that kind of capacity. And it's... Do you know what? That's not a bad thing. It means we've got 240 odd bales all kind of done in a row. There's 240, number 240 now, and it's about to drop out another bale. You can see the gate opening, gate closing. Okay, so we're just after dropping out the 241st bale out of the baler onto the wrapper, and it's just constant. It's just constantly dropping bales. That is fantastic news, because it's, you know, we're wrapping a bale, and as soon as the bale is wrapped, we're dropping another bale, so we don't need to worry about missing one. Now we've got a few fields already done, and luckily, the way that this thing works, I can show you guys exactly what's been going on. So if I open up my map here and activate grass, you can see there's a lot of grass fields. If I go over here, you can see we've done fields 5, well, field 6, 13 is not ours, 6, 36, and I've just noticed the tractor's still moving, 6, 36, 24, 22, 32, 20, 17, 18, 14, and we're kind of we're wrapping up 17 and 18 now. So we're not going too badly. We shouldn't spend too long on the silage. We're going to leave the bales in the field because honestly there's no reason not to. There's no reason not to leave the bales in the field to ferment. They are going to be grass bales for a little while. They've got to ferment into silage, and while they're fermenting, they might as well just sit in the field and we can sell them from there. We got 242 of them. We've got no shortage at all. The pre-charge chamber is really helping us when we're knocking a bale out, because it means we don't need to worry about having to stop. This is a continuous baler. It's got a pre-press chamber as well as the main chamber, and you know, pre-press chambers at 95% by the time the bale pops out, and it all immediately goes into the main chamber where it gets compacted down into the bale. We are doing super well, and we have no real issues. We've got the big bales all stacked up ready to be put onto the trailer. We've got these bales coming out at a really good rate. Looks like we're going to get about 9 bales, 8 or 9 bales. The foil rolls are empty, which means, do I want to get the Manitou? No, we'll use the baler. We'll use the baler supply. So let's get out. Let's open up this door here. Get our foil rolls. onto the... Yes. You gotta do all this stuff. Foil rolls are good. How's the net wrap looking? That's concerningly low. We might run out of net wrap. And if we run out of net wrap, there's no actual... We don't have a spare supply in the baler, so we will have to purchase some more. But we sold some cardboard boxes recently, so we're not running low on money. We're good on money for the time being. My main concern, honestly, is getting all this baling done as quickly as I can. Because, you know, winter is coming. It's only early autumn. We got plenty of time to do this, but I'd prefer to get it done now rather than later, so that maybe we can, well, get good prices for the bales. I'm hoping to sell these bales off at £1,000 per bale. Once the price and the demand hits that, we'll start selling. And we can get some cows in as well. Now, granted, £1,000 per bale. We might even want to go for 1,500 actually, because these are 1.5 times the size of the normal bales. And I'll keep an eye on them, so if I were to get out here and just wander over, let's say, to this bale here, you can see it is 6,000 litres of grass, weighs just over a ton, and it's completely and utterly worthless, because who wants a bale of grass? Everybody wants silage bales. That is what we're in the business of producing at the moment. Who in their right mind would want a bale of just grass? You want hay, you want silage, you want straw. Now we got a good stock of oh no, the net roll's empty. Net roll's empty, we've got nothing in there, so we're gonna have to make a trip over to the shop to purchase some net rolls for the Ultima. Let's buy that. Let's head over to the telehandler, which, as you can see, has some foil wrap on it, but we don't need that right now. So that can go onto the ground. Onto the ground, please. Onto the ground. There you go. And we will make a run over to the shop with this thing. To pick up the net wrap. Now we'll be able to fit... Let's see, the baler has capacity for 3 rolls, plus 1 in the baler itself, so 4 rolls we'll need. The net wrap actually annoyingly comes with 5 rolls, which means you never exactly have the right number of net wraps, but that's kind of fine. It's not the end of the world if we're a bit rich on net wrap. Now it's only a rented baler for now. I haven't quite got the money together to buy it outright, to buy one outright. So I'm trying to keep it stocked as well as I can. If there's some left over at the end of the baling, that's fine. We can send it back with, you know, net wrap and foils in it. That's, you know, it's not a big deal. It's not super expensive. 500 for 5 rolls of net wrap. 1,000 for I think 20 odd rolls of wrap. You know, the plastic wrap. It's not that much. It's not that expensive. The issue is keeping up with the demand of the baler. That thing just eats net wrap. It eats silage wrap. It just... It's unwavering. It's unyielding. It just doesn't stop. So... into the shop we go. I forgot to turn on the beacon. In we go. We should have our net wrap ready. There it is. Just put the boom out a bit so I can see what I'm doing here. And we can pick it up. Sometimes the net wrap gets a bit stuck in the ground. That's an issue with farm sim, not I love how that happens. Let's see if I can't fix that. So back down to the field we go now, and we can sort out the baler with net wrap. Now I have ordered, it should be coming reasonably soon, a DJI Phantom 2 drone. The one I'm using at the moment is kind of an off-brand cheapo drone, which is why I never show it. But the DJI Phantom, it's second-hand. It'll do well, I think. That's on the way. It's been ordered. We're just kind of waiting on delivery right now. Should be here tomorrow, hopefully. And I'm hopefully gonna get it up into the air when I'm working on getting compost into the crop field. So after we've stacked the bales and brought them off into a shed, we'll get the drone out and we'll do some composting and get the drone following the tractor and the compost spreader, which that's full, by the way. The slurry spreader, or the manure spreader we're using for compost, is completely full at the moment. We've just got to get to the field, but first we need to get the bales out of it, because I don't want to be filling the bales of compost, because that's gonna not end well. So all of that has been spoken about. We can move on to the matters at hand, which is Quentin has returned to Orchard Farm. He's got to pack his stuff up. He's leaving in the springtime, I believe, or during winter. He's gone to start packing stuff up there and prepare for the journey back here, so he can move into one of the houses around here, I guess. And that's going to be him situated for the foreseeable future. That's should be good there. Yes, I know we need to refill this with net rolls. It's fine. That seemingly ate or oh no, it didn't. So yeah, we got one roll of net wrap left, but that's fine. Close the door. Get back to the matter at hand, which is baling. Now, I will openly admit, changing the net rolls, or changing any of the wraps, either the plastic wrap or the net rolls, is annoying. It's, you know, inconvenience. If that was infinite, it would be great, but nothing in life is infinite. And everything in life has a great habit of throwing you a curveball when you don't want it. For example, I didn't want to have to change the wrap it all while recording this video, but the baler decided, no, I'm going to run out of wrap just when you don't want me to. One period of time where you just want to sit down and bale for, you know, a little bit, just get it out of your system, and it decides, no, I'm gonna be mean to you today. I'm gonna throw everything I can at you. However, we are making a very strong progress with the baling. We've got most of the fields already done, so hopefully over the course of this week we'll get the rest of the fields done. And that'll be the silage sorted. Although the next video will be moving the big bales, moving the Hestons. Now I haven't got rid of the... John, I forgot to give Quentin the balers, the small bale stuff. Oops. I'll get that sent up to Orchard Farm in the very near future. It won't go missing, don't worry. But that is not my priority right now. My priority is getting these silage bales sorted, getting all the grass sorted out, all the grass work done and dusted for the year. Although, if we're very lucky, we might be able to get a very small silage harvest going in late autumn. Might be able to get a third cut. It won't be very good, but we might be able to get it done. Which is why I'm harvesting. I'm, you know, harvesting now, seeing if we can't get just that little bit of luck together to get a third cut in this year. Because if we can get a third cut, that'll all be silage again. So you'll have a ridiculous excess of silage bales. And that'll be a lot of money. Now, if I'm selling these for, you know, 1,000, 1,500 a pop, that's £250,000 right there. That's enough to buy a field. That's enough to buy the Krone Ultima outright. You know, we could probably get that money together from the industrial estate pretty easily. But if we can get it just from silage bales, that means the industrial estate is bonus money that we can put into new machinery, new fields and stuff like that, and maybe even some stuff for the industrial estate. But making sure that the baling is going well, which it very much is with the... Thanks to the Big M that we have rented. Now, I will be honest, we have rented a Big M as well. We've got that on lease. Got it on demo. They've said we can do a full silage harvest with a Big M to see if we like it, and I am very, very impressed indeed. The 13 meter working width is exactly what I need on this farm. It cuts the working time down to almost nothing, and it just makes it so very easy to get, you know, to move forward with the silage. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just get a nice picture taken with all this stuff going on in the background. Oops. Just get a nice picture taken of the Ultima and the Fend and the sunset. Can we get a bale in the shot as well? Yes-ish. If I were to do something a bit like this. In fact, something a bit more like this. Just take the picture. I might try and get a better one in a minute. Might try and get a better picture in a moment. But, you know, a bit of sunset baling, never hurt anybody. This grass is supposed to be moist anyway. It's still reasonably freshly cut. It's had a bit of time to wilt, but it is by no means dry. It is by no means overly saturated. It is pretty much perfect for turning into silage, which is precisely what we are doing. And these bales are going to provide me with a lot of money in the future. Going into the main press chamber, we are wrapping a bale. We're not quite putting net wrap on one. Let's see if we can just hop out here and get a good picture with the sunset in it. Like that would be pretty nice. That might well be your thumbnail for today. Going into the pre-charge chamber while a bale gets wrapped up. Now going back into the main chamber again. And yeah, I don't need to worry too much about stopping up. The baler will flash up notifications for me on the computer screens when it's running low on stuff. I think it's probably going to run low on net wrap against, or on foil wrap again soon, because it can only produce about 22 bales per foil wrap, and it's kind of coming up to that point. Net wrap is good. We can produce about 50-60 bales out of that, so that's going to be good for a little while yet. Somehow let's get the lights on here. Somehow I've missed this quite large segment of grass, so let's just get this all all neat and tidied up. There we go. And this thing just poops bales out one after another. It is truly just something to behold. Last bit of grass on this pair of fields, and then we'll have to get the Big M out again and get mowing once again. But I mean, we're wrapping, we're already half full in the next bale. 22 bales out of these two fields is not bad going. Not bad going at all. I'll be resetting the bale counter going into the next field. I like getting an idea of how many bales per field we've done. But we got 259, 260 silage bales produced just today. You know, 200 bales in a day. That's not bad at all. That's not bad going at all. And hopefully, fingers crossed, and any digits that can be crossed, crossable things crossed, we will make quite a good bit of money out of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park the baler and tractor up here, like this. Just turn them off. Leave the lights on because that battery is 100% good and fully charged. And we are going to go into the very, very tricky, the unbelievably tricky field 2. Field 1 even. Because this is the field that always catches mowers out. This is the field that if the Big M's going to fail, it's going to fail here. We got just under 2 hours on it from mowing all the fields. And it has been performing admirably. Let's just get it over that gate. And switched on. This thing has been performing amazingly well. You got 600 liters of fuel left in it. This thing just... Let's get the drone out, why not? That's the reversing camera, there we go. It just eats through the grass. It's like it's not even there. It just... You know, it leaves a nice big swath behind. Nice tasty swath. It chews the grass up so very well. I don't know how the Ultima is going to perform on this slope, but we're going to find out. That's why, kind of why we got it on demo, is, I mean, if things start going wrong, we can make better decisions knowing what the Ultima, how the Ultima performs. But the Big M, I think, is a necessary purchase for this farm going forward. And not even just for this farm, for me personally, I'm going to put it under my own name, because if we do get the farm and the estate at Ventonwan again, well, the number one thing we're going to need there, for sure, is a good mower. And something like the Big M will fit in anywhere. Unless of course I don't drive it right, in which case it just gets stuck everywhere. But the Big M, do you know what? This is the mower I think I'm going to be using a lot more of. Because I mean, we're cruising along. We don't need to worry too much about the density of the grass. It's just chewing it up and throwing it out. It's got a nice good working width, 13.5 meters, and it's, yeah, just giving us what we're asking a lot of it, and it's answering in kind. That was a tree stump that I forgot to... Yeah, I need to get a stump grinder at some point. I need to grind those stumps. But in terms of productivity, this thing is pretty much perfect. I don't think there's much to worry about with the Big M. The only issue I have with it is a single-use piece of equipment. It's just a mower. No, you can't head with it. It does only put out swaths. So if I was wanting to make hay, I'd have to ted the swath, which maybe wouldn't be the best. But at the same time, it would also mean I wouldn't need a massive tedder. I could just get a small hay bob and ted the swath. And then hopefully just windrow the swath back up again using that same hay bob. I mean, I think this might be a worthwhile investment. Not worthwhile enough for me to take out a big loan, but worthwhile enough for me to want to save up for it after I get another field or two. Because I think more crop fields is going to have to be the first priority. Then after that, the Big M will come along and be a kind of a natural progression. There we go. Although one thing I will say is I think the class dominator, while it was great for that one field, if we get another crop field or even 2 or 3 more, the class dominator will suddenly become too small for this farm. So if I do get another crop field, I'll be selling the dominator and just leasing a combine from one of the neighbours for the duration of the harvest. But that is a problem that I don't think we'll have very soon. Because in order to buy another field, we're going to have to sell off the silage bales, which they're still grass, they're still worth literally nothing. And they can sit in the field for as long as I want them to. They can pretty much sit in the field until I need to mow it again. Because they're all wrapped up, that wrap is pretty much, unless I wanted to, it's pretty much indestructible. So, well, by natural forces it definitely is. So I don't need to worry about those bales at all. Once they're made and they're safe. They don't need to go into a shed, they don't need to go anywhere. I can pick them out of the field, feed the cows that I plan on buying with them, sell them off, whatever. They can just be pulled straight out of the field, pulled in, and then they're my problem. But until that point, they can just sit there for all I care. And for all it matters, they just stay there. This mower is probably, very probably, my favorite piece of equipment at the moment, just because it cuts down on the workload so very, very much. Because I don't need to go around with, let's say, the Massey. And for every cut of this thing, the Massey needs to do 2 rounds. 2 and a bit, 2 and a half. This is just 1 round and it windrows it up for me. So that's kind of 3.5 passes I'm skipping. Or I'm, putting 3.5 passes effectively into every pass of this. That's a lot of time saved. That's nothing trivial. Yeah, the more time I spend with this thing, the less time I need to worry about. The more time I spend with the Big M, the more time I save. Because I don't need a tedder, I don't need a windrower, I don't need to go over this grass 3 or 4 times to make sure that it's sitting right. It just does it immediately and we're done. That was a full field in real time. It's done. And, what, 6 minutes? 6-7 minutes to do that entire field? That's progress. I'll just pull this up. I don't know where to pull this up, actually. Let's pull it into field 14, I guess. Just for now. And, yeah, let's put it in here and just Get it pointing outwards, because we'll need this again. We got another, how many fields to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we got another 5 fields to do. 15 is going to be the worst field by far, because that's going to be just bales everywhere. 11's not going to be too bad. 16's going to be interesting. Field 2 should be okay. But that is going to do it for today. You can see how we're doing now. I mean, we've got almost all the grass up now. And baled. We've just got to bale field 1, and then we can mow field 2. Bale that up. 16, bale that up. 15 will be the fun one, where it's just absolute mayhem with bales. And I will need to get more foil wrap for that, most likely. But as I turn the Big M off, I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on Thornton Farm. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And do watch the series playlist thing. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.